afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for 3 p.m. Eastern Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. In today's meditation, as we progress on this journey that we have, we look at the fear that is created amongst humanity on this planet. And when you realize that this is a false energy, that this energy is not, how do I put it? It's not effective. It is not real. It is placed in your mind, and your ego and your mind, if they are mastering you, will cause you to become fearful, afraid, worried, and then all the other things that come with it, the stress, the anxiety, all of it. And I get a lot of people that write in and they talk about where they're happy one day and they're sad the next, and they feel this heaviness and they're being stretched and pulled, and they have a lot of anxieties at times and stresses, and they don't know what direction to turn or go in. And remember that this whole construct, this whole matrix, this holographic existence that we are planted in is all it is. That's all it is. And picture yourselves floating up and out of it, out of the world. We're not talking about the planet. We're talking about the world that's been created on this planet. And we have no need for it. When you start to realize that the very thing that you are grappling for, that you're trying to get, does not exist outside of you. It does not exist. And have you ever noticed that when you chase things, or when you're how you get hurried, you get excited, but you get hurried. You get stressful, and you become almost unhealed, so to speak, because you're going in so many different directions. We are about peace, prosperity, happiness, calmness, serenity. And when you become serene, a lot of things just don't make an impact like they once did. You're, this attachment that we have with materialism, with this whole thing about having, and we better get it or they're going to be gone type frenzy that whips humanity up. We are a divine energy created to create. We are created to create many things and branch out and expand. And the more that you dream, the more that you create. You dream. If you don't dream, and dreaming doesn't always have to be when you're asleep. Dreaming can be when you're awake and you just stare off and you start wondering, how you would like this or that, or have this scene to be a certain way, or experiencing for yourself. And being happy is everything. Being happy is everything. Because when you understand that you are always happy, you're never not happy. The happiness is inside of you. Your higher self is always happy and joyous and blissful and peaceful and abundant and wealthy and rich. I mean, all of that, and I've talked about it before, but it bears repeating many times, is that think about this, knowing that you know you have all that you would ever desire within you. Once you make that correlation, you will then understand that this entire game that's afoot in this world is nonsensical. It has no real meaning. And you think about that, that's why so many people don't know where they're going, and they're confused, and they don't fit in, and they never felt like they fit in. And there's so many things that are discombobulated about this movie that we have been put in. And so understanding is such a key energy of you and your higher self, that you contain all of that which you desire. You contain all of that which you desire. And that's the connection of true deep understanding of who you are. See, you've been twisted so much that we look at this twisted, distorted picture of that all of this outside, all of this going on, all of these things, all this stuff that's been happening for centuries and centuries and centuries. No one, very few, I'll say that, some have, but very few, have stepped outside of that and really looked at it for its true value. We are all meant to experience total, unmitigated peace, prosperity, love, and happiness 24/7. People say, well, that's unrealistic. See, in this world, people say it's unrealistic, and it's no, it's not going to happen. That's wishful thinking. See, that's the negative vibration. Why can't you accept that all of the things that you have desired in this life are inside of you? All of the things that you've desired, whatever they may be, are inside of you. And that's where the true fountain of happiness, joy, and bliss, and peace, and serenity, and goodness are. It's all there. And see, what happens is that outside pulls and pulls and pulls at you. So what we're going to do today in this meditation is you are going to meet your higher self, and your higher self is going to share with you who you are and what you are. And it will be validation for each and every one of us to understand that we are all that we have ever desired, ever will desire, and ever have desired. And this is teaching us to move within, not outside. That's all been a diversion for centuries and centuries and centuries and thousands of years. The truth is, go within. And when you look at all the prophets, all of those throughout the ages have all, in one way, shape, form, or another, stated, go within. If you have questions, go within. Seek them out within. And that is a crucial golden key to your happiness, your bliss, your joy, your peace, your serenity, your generosity, your sharing, your caring, your giving. All of these things without ego and without the mind controlling you, and you the master of all. So if you will, go to an area where you will not be interrupted, which I'm sure you're already there. And as I talk, you want to relax. Relax from head to toe. Just let everything fall off. Anything that's weighing you down, just let it drop off. Yeah? You might be surprised that when this meditation is complete, you won't want to pick that back up and put it on because it weighs too much. It's not necessary. Excess baggage. Just drop it all off. Let it drop to the floor. And relax. You are in bliss and peace. And you want to breathe. And you're going to breathe 6 times. And you want to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And as you do this, you will hold it 1001, 1002, 1003. You will exhale through the mouth. And as I'm talking, what you're breathing in is divine positive energy. And this divine positive energy basically is opening up the pathway, the doorway. In fact, the door is being taken off the hinges. You no longer have to open it. It's there 24/7. Your door to your higher self is open 24/7. And you're breathing this in of awareness, this just very, very clear awareness, and this deep eternal love. And you can feel this breeze flowing around you as it's kind of kissing your skin and hugging you. And this is a total awareness that you are complete. You always have been. You've never been fragmented. You've always been complete. And you're breathing in, knowing, and you find this out that as you breathe in, that all of these things that you have seeked outward, that you've looked and scraped and hunted and almost killed yourself trying to achieve these things, because in this world, that's how it dictates to everyone. You got to have this, you got to have that, you got to make this, you got to make that. And you're finding out, and you're now aware that all of the things that were outside have always been inside you with your higher self. All of them. It's a jubilation. It's a release. A wonderful experience of awakening, of understanding. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out all of these predisposed, these ideas, these so-called historical things that you have been trained to believe and trained to go outside yourself and trained to look into the sky and look for signs and all this stuff of someone's coming to save you, and you're going to have all of this stuff. And ever since we've been around, we have been drawn outside of ourselves. We have been pulled and ripped and torn from who we are. We have been literally ripped away from who we are many times in existence. So as you breathe this out, this is what you're letting go. You breathe out this goop and the stickiness and the vileness of all of this false belief, these things that you have been taught, these lies that you have been educated on. As Jesus stated many times, the kingdom of heaven is inside each and every one of us, and right at the chest area, the heart-mind. It's inside of us. So, we want to go to the heart-mind, where the sternum is, center of the chest. As we go in deeply, we go in deeper and deeper and up and deep, and then we find ourselves totally encapsulated within a protective bubble, and this bubble is golden white pink light of Prime Source, Creator God's eternal love. It is the purple transmuting flame, the violet ray, and the emerald green healing flaming light of Archangel Raphael. And it's penetrating us, soothing us, embracing us, caring for us, supporting us, nurturing us in total bliss and happiness, perfect health and wealth. And as we look, we see our higher self, and we just immediately dive right into our higher self. We become one. We are happy, jubilant, blissful for this union. This union should go on all the time. This togetherness, this association, this relationship. And it should be expanding and deepening. So arm in arm and hand in hand, we form our circle, and we're in communication with all of our higher selves and all higher selves that we have permission to communicate with. And as we float up above the planet, we call upon all light beings in this solar system, in this galaxy, and all galaxies and universes, all light beings who are of eternal love and from eternal love, to join us in this meditation. All light beings from all dimensions who are of eternal love and from eternal love. We ask that they join us in this meditation. We ask that all the archangels, seraphim, cherubim, join us in this meditation, as well as all the angels who are of eternal love and from eternal love to join us in this meditation. We ask all the ascended masters who are of eternal love, from eternal love, to join us in this meditation. We ask that all of those from inner earth and hollow earth that are of eternal love, from eternal love, join us in this meditation. And all of the gnomes, the sprites, and the fairies of eternal love and from eternal love to join us in this meditation. And all of our loved ones who have passed over, both in this life and other lives that we have occupied, join us in this meditation of eternal love and from eternal love. Are all protected. We are all protected. They are all protected in these spheres that have been created. And we float up and up above the planet, and our light is greater than all the suns in the universes. And the space becomes light. The darkness is illuminated. And we see our meditative sphere glowing, glittering, and vibrating with all of our meditations that we have performed so far this year, since February. And the golden white pink light of Prime Source Creator God's eternal love, the emerald green healing flaming light of Archangel Raphael, the purple transmuting flame, and the violet ray. All of our meditations are in perpetual motion. We begin to feel the rain saturate the crown of our head. It saturates very warm and loving, and it saturates inside and out through our very existence, through our higher self and our physical self, directly from Prime Source Creator God and Father Mother. And as we do this, we all begin to send an awareness of who we are and embrace our higher self and communicate with our higher selves on this entire planet, of all the beings of this planet, all the inhabitants, that they too begin to elevate and embrace their higher self, their God spark, their soul, their spirit, however you wish to address creation. And as we all are doing this, and this changes the frequency of the planet, changes the frequency of all of us at a higher level, a higher rising elevation. And as we do this, we begin to realize that our happiness, our joy, our bliss, our generosity, within our control and mastery through our higher self. And once, as we're doing this, we begin to realize that we have the ability and the power to create anything we desire. Anything. But we can't do this if we continually are pulled and allow ourselves to be pulled outside of ourselves. That's when we start obstructing our own happiness, our own joy, our own bliss, and our own lightness. That's when we stop and we interact and we block it. Therefore, we must continually embrace our higher selves to blend and to understand that we were always happy, we were always joyous, we were always blissful, we were always healthy, we were always prosperous, we were always rich, we were always caring, always nurturing, always guiding, always supportive. But you cannot be any of that when you're separate from who you are. And that is your spirit, your higher self. And once you're able to mend with that and literally embrace intimately with your higher self and know that your higher self is there, you create a balance with your higher self and your physical self. And that balance is high vibrational frequency, and you float along and you acquire, you attract all the things effortlessly that you have scraped, chased, dug, pulled, every single thing that you have physically tried to obtain, and how mostly difficult it is gone. And it is effortless. Just always have to remember our bond with our higher self is the love that we always have seeked out. And so many of us are lonely because our relationships with ourselves is bruised and damaged. We no longer are going to feel guilty, negative, self-ridiculing. We are in forgiveness, happiness, joy, and bliss and prosperity. Lightness. Our hearts are expanded with deep, eternal love. I will join you in the meditation, and I'll be back to close us out. feel an easing expansion and awareness of your relationship with your higher self and balancing your field of energy, your vibrational frequency, with the deep down knowing that you're all that you will ever need for your happiness, your bliss, your prosperity, your joy, your confidence without ego, your caring, your servitude for each other, happiness. And once that is opened and you've nurtured it and you begin to understand, which I think all of you are starting to, that that's the beginning of this entire shift for this planet, for humanity. It's the beginning of this shift of understanding that we no longer are entangled in a false world that's a world of lack of, that's a world that don't have illness, diseases, death, destruction, all of those things. That's not who we are. And in this meditation, as it carries you throughout the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the morning, you will begin to deeply understand of why you are. Why you are. And I send through Prime Source, Creator, God, Father, Mother, Yeshua, send to each and every one of you a deep, great, eternal love, a deep, great, wonderful health, a deep, great peace, a prosperity, an abundance, wealth beyond imagination, caring and joy and bliss and happiness. And that's how we will be in our new world. We'll have a time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on this line, on this call line. And we're going to cover, like we do, a vast variety of areas. And we're going to try to do a longer Q&A so that more and more people can get their questions answered. We're not going to do a etheric name, and that takes up too much time for people that are wanting to ask other questions. So if you want that information, then you'll want to send an email, and I will get to you as soon as possible. So all of you are in bliss with your spirit, with your higher self. Watch how the day changes.